I'm pretty sure you have all heard this sound before. I'm pretty sure you have practiced chanting this sound in your yoga classes, in your yoga trainings. I am also pretty sure that sometimes you did not want to allow any sounds to come off your lips while the whole rest of the class was chanting. I just want to shed some light upon this sacred, very powerful healing sounds that we have available, and often we do not understand the meaning of it or the power that it can have over our well-being. The sound of Om is recorded in the history as belonging to the Vedic texts, Indian Vedic texts, which are dated over 3,000 years ago. But the sound of Om is, first of all, a sound that belongs to the energy of your heart chakra. When you chant the sound of Om, there's a rippling physical effect that you can actually feel. That purring that's happening from your heart center ripples and extends and expands into your entire body. And that ripple of energy, that frequency, can be used to target specific parts of the body or to just remain in the heart center and amplify what you have. Your heart center, your heart frequency, your heart energy field is the most powerful field that you own as an incarnated being, as a human. So with the heart energy, what happens is this is the energy that allows you to connect. Your heart energy facilitates connection to life itself, within, without, inside, outside, above, below. Your heart energy is the most powerful magnetic field you have, controlled by the rhythm of your heart that does not stop as long as you are alive. How magic is that? If we were only to understand the dynamics behind the heartbeat and the frequencies that are created and allow us to connect within ourselves, within our own life, and also with all that is, we would probably own the secret that everybody talks about. So what I wanted to share with you today is, why do we chant the Om? What does it mean? And why do we have to do it? Or don't have to do it, depending on your intention, right? The meaning of the chant of Om in a yoga class, for example, anywhere else, but mainly in the yoga class because that's where you learn about it and that's where you start practicing. The meaning of the Om sound supports the need of connection, the need of the teacher to connect with all the energy fields available and be able to understand and support the healing. When the class, every single person present is chanting back and in resonance, that energy allows vulnerability, allows opening, allows me to understand what you need in order for me to help you with what you need. If I'm chanting the Om and you are not, my connection with you does not exist at the level that is needed in order for healing to happen. There will be a superficial connection that is based on all the other senses existing, but deep inside, I will not be able to understand what you need, to connect with what you need, and to support that. That is the meaning of teacher chants Om in a yoga class. Yoga class responds just so we are connected. I get you, you get me. You get my way of giving you what you need in order to elevate your energy, to support your journey. We can actually create discomfort by not willing to connect in the yoga class, or anywhere else for that matter, right? So the Om sound, the other part, the physical alignment that dictates a proper interpretation, a proper performance of the Om sound, is the alignment in the body. You never see somebody Oming like this. You will never see somebody trying to Om like this. You will always have the same body alignment. So the body alignment for the Om chant is the easy pose with crossed legs that is used for meditation. Just looking at the alignment of the body in meditation, the alignment of the body requires 2 triangles and an antenna. Let me make sense of this. When your body is in need for connection, is in need to connect. Not sure if in physics you have learned how to build antennas back in the day. I have, in a different educational system and very old social structure. So I have learned that in order to create an antenna, you need a conductive wire, a conductive element, and you need a certain geometrical structure to build that specific transmitter or facilitator of energy. And physically, that happens when you want to build an antenna. You need a base, and you need the base, and you need the antenna in itself, right? So the base is always created by having a triangle to support the stands of the antenna. That's how you were explained, right? So you always will have a triangle base, and right at the tip of the triangle, you will place the rod that will allow the signal to go through. Did that make sense so far? Here's your antenna. When you meditate, when you want to ground, to connect, you need to function. Your body takes the physical function of an antenna. Foundation that supports the rod of energy conductor, which is your spine. The base of your spine holds your root chakra all the way to the top where you hold your crown chakra and beyond that. So we're talking about the antenna that creates that line of energy that holds your 7 chakras, your 7 spectrum of light connected to your own body. You are made of and built on frequency. That's who you are. Beyond what you see. So what you see is a reflection of your energy. The basis is created in your legs. Meditating with your legs spread might be an option. That is because the physical body has an inability to create physically the geometrical shape. Eventually, you will need this. In order to be a clean channel, you need to respect geometry. If geometry is not respected, if it's bent, the energy is not going to go through properly. So the signal is not going to be clear for you. So you have the bases, you have the rod that conducts the energy. You're a conductor of energy. Now what's happening once you have the foundation of your meditative state? you want to connect. And connection is facilitated by the most powerful energy field in your body, which is your heart. So what do? Connection between root energy, because this structure creates root energy connection. This structure creates heart energy connection. And the heart energy connection, if you can actually look at this one in a 3D way, this is a standing triangle. And in your standing triangle, what is the conductor for your energy? Your throat chakra. You emit and receive information through your voice. We are so magic and we make sense. Everything makes sense. Everything that you are makes sense. So when you create this triangle, the other part that is happening is your heart, physical, let's talk about physical construction. Your heart center holds the meridians that expand into your chest area all the way into your arms. Hello, if your left arm is bothering you or it gets numb, these are the first signs of a heart attack. What does this one have to do with your heart? It is connected. It's fully connected. There's the meridians that receive the energy into your heart. When there's no reception in here to go towards your heart, you have a sign of your heart is going to fail. So there's a physical connection that we are aware of, but we don't really make sense of, if that makes sense for you right now. So when you bring your hands together, you're uniting two energy patterns that connect, that create a circle with your heart. The other physical specification, physical spec of your heart is that your heart energy field does not move vertically, just like the rest of your body. Your heart energy field surrounds your body in a horizontal way. So by bringing your meridians that connect to the heart together, you're closing the circle. And by closing that energy circle inside and into your heart, you maximize ability to heal. When we close our circle, we learn to connect inside. When you're connected inside, there's no obstacle that stands in your way to connect with the world and with all life as it is. So once you have closed the circle, what's happening? You open up your antenna, which stands in your throat chakra, and you emit a sound. That sound is the print of your voice. Every single individual on this planet has a voice print. You recognize their voice before they even tell you who they are. By the voice of somebody, you read the energy of that specific person. Remember in the past when you didn't have a call display and you would pick up the phone and you would hear the voice, you would know who that is before they would say, hey, it's me. Or they would say, hey, it's me, and you would say, which me? You recognize people by their voice print. You know who they are. And even when you meet somebody for the very first time, you read information into the way they talk and into the way they connect with you, into the way they shake your hand, heart energy connection, in the way that they hug you, heart energy connection. So you close your circle, you give power into the heart center, you start oming. Now, the sound of om, the meaning of it Again, if you read into the history of it, the sound of Om is considered to be the primordial sound of life. At the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God. Classic. This is our Bible, right? So if you go back into that, the sound is the very first thing that gives life. The sound is information. So the information that you put out there resonates with information that is sent to you. And if you're on the same wavelength, you will communicate. If information that is sent out does not match information that comes in, you will not communicate. You will be on two different books. This is universal, right? So when you chant the primordial sound that gives life to all that is, you transmit pure healing information. And as you do that, you would really want to get an exchange of energy for that. There's exchange in nature at all levels. If there's no exchange, there is no connection. So you connect from the heart by chanting the Om. The Om sound has a pattern of two elements. When you start chanting, you start with your mouth open. Oh. That's the very first part of it. The second part of it is The second part is inside. The very first part that you chant, you open up. By opening your mouth and by allowing your voice to reverberate outside, you are transmitting information, you're connecting with the outside. By closing your mouth and humming from the inside, you conserve your energy and you remain inside. You can analyze how much of your energy, attention, is inside, how much time and energy you spend within yourself, and how much time you would spend outside. When you chant Om at the beginning of any class, you will notice that the will be longer than the because you're still outside, you're still pulled outside of yourself. After any yoga practice, you should balance or start spending more time into the inside. Balance means the length of the open sound of Om is equal to the length of the closed sound of Om. You're going to have an Om equal. The longer you stay outside, it's a sign of you being pulled outside and being more concerned of sending your intention outside of yourself, serving others, being out there for others, not serving your own self, serving out. The inside sound is showing a sign of serving in. The bringing together of these two lengths of sound allows you to balance. At the end of any yoga class, you will notice that your Om sound is different. Bottom line, I was one of these students that would show up in a yoga class, always stay in the back, and this was my Om. This was my Om. Now this is my Om. And my connection within my energy and the energy of all that is has a completely different meaning for me. Because right now I understand that my will to connect at that point did not exist. I was showing up on a class that was scheduled somewhere in my busy time, was a part that I knew it's good for me. That's all the attention I was giving it. And I had no intention whatsoever to connect with anybody in that class, I swear to you. I was there to do my training, get out, and get back to my life because I had things to do. Therefore, my Om did not want to connect. Look at your Om, look at your heart, and notice how much do you want to connect? How much do you want to stay inside, within yourself? The sound of Om is healing for the heart. The sound of Om should be chanted at all times, anytime. If you don't get a chance to chant it sitting, you can stand. As long as you allow the triangle to close the energy in your heart center and your throat chakra to fully express, you will create an energy field that will be strong enough, powerful enough, and loving endlessly for all life. When you have the ability to connect to all that is, there should be no obstacles in any of the paths that you choose to walk. May your Om be chanted out loud. May your heart always stay open.